You've swum with number 3. You've probably stepped over number 10. And the animal at number 1 has been closer to you than you'll ever want to believe. 2 million of them, living in the water right beside you. And you've trained yourself not to see a single one. Louisiana looks like it's sleeping. The bayou sits flat and green in the heat. The water barely moves. You back the boat down the ramp, let the kids float the warm shallows, fish the bank at dusk, and you don't think, not once, about what's holding still a few feet from your ankles. That stillness is the disguise, because Louisiana is one of the most predator-heavy landscapes in North America. A place where the food chain was never broken, never thinned out. The animals didn't leave when the docks and subdivisions arrived. They just stopped being looked at. So today, we're counting down 13 dangerous animals of Louisiana, ranked not by which is deadliest on paper, but by how completely the people living beside them have agreed to pretend they're not there. Stick around, because they get harder to believe the higher we go. And real quick, if this is the kind of thing that keeps your mind turning after dark, subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps. Now, drop your town in the comments so I can see how far these reach, and let's get into it. Number 13, the fire ant. We start at your feet. That dirt mound in the yard you mow around? Disturb it, and the colony boils out in seconds, gripping your skin and stinging in unison, each ant burning a pustule again and again. For most, it's agony. For the allergic, a swarming can bring anaphylaxis and death, miles from help. They've killed livestock and pets. And here's the theme for this whole list. The most dangerous animals in Louisiana are the ones you've already decided are just part of the ground. Number 12, the brown recluse. Right now, in your shed, your garage, that shoe in the back of the closet, there may be a small brown spider with a violin on its back. It doesn't hunt you. It bites only when trapped against skin, often while you're asleep or reaching blind into clutter. And its venom kills tissue, opening a slow, ulcerating wound that takes months to heal and can scar for life. Dangerous doesn't have to mean large. Sometimes it's the size of a dime. Number 11, the Nutria. Now, the one people think is harmless. The Nutria is a 20-pound invasive rodent with bright orange teeth, overrunning the marshes by the millions. Corner one and it'll lunge and bite, and it carries diseases you don't want. But here's the real damage. It devours the roots that hold the coast together, collapsing the marsh that protects everyone inland. Number 11 is the animal quietly eating Louisiana out from under itself. Number 10, the Copperhead. Now the snake you simply step over. It causes a huge share of the state's venomous bites, and almost none are fatal, which is exactly why it's dangerous. Its copper hourglass pattern dissolves into dead leaves so completely that you can stand a foot away and see only ground. It doesn't rattle. It doesn't flee. It lies in the flower bed and the leaf litter and trusts you won't notice until your hand reaches into a spot your eyes already cleared. You've probably already stepped over one this year. Number 9, the coral snake. Fewer people ever see this one. That's what makes it deadly. It hides Louisiana's most potent venom inside a small, brightly banded body buried in loose soil. And here's the terrifying part. Its venom is a neurotoxin, and the symptoms can be delayed for hours. You get bitten, you feel fine, you go home. And then your nervous system starts shutting down. It's shy and rarely bites, but its colors get it picked up by people who have no idea what they're holding. Number 8, the wild hog. We're at the halfway point, and if you're still here, you clearly want the truth about what's out there. So hit subscribe, because from here, the list stops being something you can walk away from. Louisiana has hundreds of thousands of feral hogs in nearly every parish. A boar pushes past 200 pounds, armored in gristle, armed with self-sharpening tusks, and unlike almost any other animal this size, it doesn't run. It charges. They move in packs at night and push into subdivisions after water and food. Number 8 is the animal the state can't kill fast enough to keep up. Number 7. The Louisiana black bear. Most people's mental map of Louisiana has no room for a bear. But it's here, the state's own subspecies, the actual original teddy bear, and it's expanding. Pushed to almost nothing a century ago, it's clawed back across the Atchafalaya Basin. 300 pounds, 30 miles an hour, climbs better than you. It would rather leave than fight till it connects your neighborhood with easy food and loses its fear. Number 7 is the animal a whole state assumes isn't there. Number 6, the eastern diamondback rattlesnake, now the most venomous animal in the state, and the largest venomous snake in North America. A big one tops 6 feet, thick as your arm, with fangs long enough to drive venom deep. It holds its ground where other snakes flee, coiled in the palmetto, right along the trails people walk every fall. It'll give a warning rattle, but not always in time. Everyone can picture this snake. Almost nobody actually watches for it. Number 5, the Cottonmouth. If the diamondback rules the land, this one ruins the water. The only venomous water snake in the state lives in exactly the places you go to cool off. The bayou, the swamp, the edge of the pond. Thick, dark, and when cornered it gapes that white cotton mouth in warning. Its venom destroys tissue, and every dark shape in the water gets waved off as a stick, because looking closer would ruin the afternoon. Number 5 turns the water you trust into water you've decided not to think about. Number 4, the Africanized honeybee. A predator that doesn't look like one. You can't tell it from a regular honeybee without a lab. The difference is entirely in temper. This colony answers a bump with 10 times the stingers, chases you a quarter mile, and doesn't stop when a normal hive would. They nest in the water meter box, the fence post, the wall of your house. Ignored, because nobody flinches at a bee. Right up until someone bumps the nest. Number 4 hides inside the most familiar insect in your yard. Number 3, the bull shark. Now, the one that breaks people. Everyone accepts sharks off the coast. That's the deal you make with the Gulf. But one shark doesn't stay in the Gulf. The bull shark can regulate the salt in its body and swim straight out of the ocean into fresh water. Up the rivers, into the bayous. There have been shark encounters in Lake Pontchartrain. Bull sharks found far up the Mississippi. So the family floating a tidal stream, the man wading a river at dusk, they're sharing that murky water with an animal that followed the tide inland, and there's no line on the water to warn them. Number 3 ignored the one rule everyone counted on it to keep. Number 2, the mountain lion. We've reached the ghost. Officially, Louisiana has no cougar population, and yet the confirmed sightings never stop. Trail cameras, DNA-verified tracks, animals dispersing east out of Texas into a state that swears the big cat is gone. A male tops 150 pounds, ranges hundreds of square miles, and moves through the bottomland forest in total silence. And here the denial flips. With every other animal, people insist a real predator is absent. But with the lion, they've decided it's just a legend. It isn't. Number 2 is still moving through the dark while the state calls it a memory. Number 1, the American alligator. And number 1 is, of course, the alligator, because it's the one Louisiana has most perfected the art of not seeing. There are 1.5 to 2 million alligators in this state, the largest population in the entire United States. Think about that number. The retention pond behind the store has 1. The golf course water hazard has 1. The bayou behind the subdivision, the drainage canal, the slow green river, all of it is gator habitat. An adult male passes 10 feet, sits motionless at the water line for hours, invisible in dark water, with a strike that closes in a fraction of a second. And people jog past the neighborhood gator the way commuters step over a subway grate. The denial here isn't that it's absent. Everyone knows it's there. It's the daily, load-bearing pretense that it doesn't matter, that the gator in the lake is a fixture, almost a pet, right up until the morning it isn't. Number 1 is the purest version of this entire list. 2 million apex predators in the water beside us, made invisible not by stealth, but by familiarity. So here's what this list is really about. Not fear. Fear's easy, and it's gone by morning. It's about the quiet agreement that lets a whole state pour its docks and decks and subdivisions over a food chain that's still completely intact and totally indifferent to us. The Cottonmouth is still on the bank. The bull shark is still riding the tide upriver. And somewhere behind a fishing camp you've driven past 100 times, an animal the state swears is a legend is moving through the dark. The water is the same water looking at it or not. And the flat green surface of every bayou in Louisiana tells you almost nothing about what's holding still beneath it. Waiting. The way it has waited since long before there was anyone here to pretend otherwise.